Hey guys, it's Corey. Today we are going to talk about the back office, and I'm really excited to share this with you guys because whenever I signed on with Plexus, I feel like I was a little intimidated by the back office. Anytime I got on, I didn't really understand what to be looking for or where to find things. So I'm excited to be able to share this with you. We are really going to focus on just the basics today. We're not going to get into all the nuts and bolts of everything. You don't need to know that yet. What you really need to know are just some basics on when you get customers, where to find them, how to track orders, how to shop in your back office, just some basics that after this video, you will be well equipped to get really started in your business. And then everything else will come later, but this will take you a long way actually. So I'm excited to share that with you. But before we get started, there's a couple of terms that we use a lot in Plexus that are really important to know. One of which is PV, which stands for personal volume. And what that is the combined total of your orders and your customer orders. So for example, if you bought something that was $50 in PV and you have a customer ordering $100 worth of product in PV, your total PV would be $150. So they combine, which is so awesome. So that's very important to know, and that will come into play, especially when we start talking about commissions. The second term that you really need to know is your backup order, and we're going to get into the logistics of that in a few minutes. But there are some moving parts to it that can be a little complicated and harder to understand. But what you need to understand with the backup order is that it becomes very important when it comes to being commission qualified, which basically means that you are qualified to be paid by Plexus. So you want to make sure that you understand that and know how to work with that and to turn it on and off or to change it if you need to. So we're going to cover that as well. So remember, PV and backup order are very, very important when it comes to your back office. After we're done, I would encourage you to just kind of click through all the tabs to kind of just see what all's there. Again, I'm going to go through some of it, but not all of it, but just to familiarize yourself with kind of where things are and terms that you might see pop up. So with that being said, let's get started.
Okay, here we go. This is my husband's page. We signed him up as an ambassador just a couple months ago, so his page would look very similar to what yours would. So I'm going to start off with his page we can kind of start from scratch. So this is what we call your dashboard, and anytime you want to get back to this page, this is the button you push, this dashboard button. Obviously, there's all these tabs up here, which, like I said, after this video, I would encourage you to just kind of play around with these, kind of look what all is under these tabs. Just lots of information chocked full. So, but the first thing I want to draw you to on your dashboard, and the main thing actually, is this qualifications box down here. Let me get it down there. This box right here is, gosh, it's chocked full of information, even though it's just such a little box. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is your PV button. So this green button is so fun to see the numbers go up as the month continues. As you make purchases and as you get customers, that your PV will go up. And so it's always fun to kind of check on that when you get new customers and see where your PV is. So anytime you want to check on that, this is where you go. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. And then, like I said, the other term that we were really going to talk about was your backup order. And so if this button is red, that means that your backup order is not set up. So if it's green, it is, and you should be good to go. But if you want to edit it or even see what your backup order is, maybe you don't know what it is, well, this is where you would go. But I'm going to go ahead and set up Brian's. So I'm going to go to shopping, and I'm going to go to backup orders. Okay, so this is where obviously we don't have one. So I'm going to add a new backup order. Okay, so the part that can be a little confusing about this is that you can choose if your backup order is conditional or unconditional. So I think unconditional is a little self-explanatory. You want that means that you would want your backup order to ship to you no matter what happens every month. Okay, so say your backup order is scheduled to go out on the 28th every month, and if it's set to unconditional, no matter what happens as far as your PV or anything goes, that means your order will ship. If you set it to unconditional, which is what I have mine on, it will only ship if you do not have $100 in PV on the date you have it set to ship by. So like I have mine set up to go out on the 28th of the month. So if my PV is not at $100 or at least at $100, it will ship. But with the way my business has gone, that's never the case. And so it never ships. I tend to always do my shopping just as I need things, and so I'll just go order something, and it's the same thing, but it's just I have control over that, and I can change that anytime I want to. But for Brian, I'm going to say conditional. If that doesn't make sense, definitely talk to your upline about that or let us know. So we're going to set to conditional, and then it's just going to take you to basically do some shopping. It's like a normal website. So I'm just going to select the triplex just to, we're going to go with that to start off with. And I want to add that to my backup order. And I'm going to go back to my backup summary to make sure it's all set. And obviously we've blocked out all of our private information, but that is saying that we've got at least $100 in PV right here, and there's our total, and I'm going to update my backup order. So backup order is saved, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard, back to the dashboard, and should be all green buttons. So yay. So PV is green, backup order is green. That means that we are all set to go. If I get over $100 in PV, I will get paid. So that's very important to know. Okay, so as you are getting customers and your business grows and your PV goes up, you're going to want to be able to track your customers. So what I want to show you is where to find your customer report. So to do that, I'm going to need to sign on under mine because Brian doesn't have any customers yet. He's not working the business side at this point. Okay, so here's mine. So I'm going to go up to my reports. Okay, reports, and there's lots of stuff in here. I use my reports a lot, but I'm going to go down to my customer report. Okay, let's go to my mother-in-law, Alice Crowley. I say that she wanted me to check on one of her orders. So I'm going to click on her name. And it is going to bring up her information and all of her orders. She's a preferred customer of mine. And say obviously, here's the tracking number for all of her orders. So you can go to, if I'm wanting to see what the order is, like her order this month in June, this was her order. This is her address, and I can see that she ordered she ordered 1 bag of Slim, 1 Pro Bio, and 1 X Factor. So I can go track that at any point. So sometimes, if I have a new customer that orders, I can see the total in my PV, but I don't know exactly what they ordered. So if I'm like, okay, I need to know what instructions I need to give them, what information I need to give them, I can go see what they ordered here. So that's where you go to your customer reports. And again, you can get their phone number, you can get their address, all that kind of stuff that you need for your customers. So, and really it keeps any customers in here, any current customers that you've had in the within the year, I think. So that is one way to go. One thing I'm going to point you to also under reports, and we're not going to get far into this, but is your detailed genealogy, which is right here. And that is where, when you start adding team members, that's where you're going to go. I'm just going to show it to you. I'm not even going to go that far into it, but just so you see it, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Here is, you know, your genealogy, meaning all the people in your downline. So, you know, I can go see Buffy was my first ambassador. I can see her ambassador number. I can see her PV here. When she enrolled, I can see all sorts of stuff here. And again, you don't really, I'm not going to go into this or anything real far, but that's just kind of where that is. So just no, it really, when in doubt, go to reports is probably one of the best ways to remember. Okay, I'm going to go back to the dashboard because again, that's kind of like your home page. One of the things that is newer right now is tools. If you go to your tools, there are these things called shareables. And this was new as of convention this June. And so what they have done is given us a lot of videos and images, downloads that we can have, for example, for our newer products that were released at convention this year. Here are a ton of images that you can use for posting, you know, that you can save to your phone and just use on a post, which is so awesome and so handy. And so I think they're going to be expanding this more and more as we go. But these are just some good graphics that you can use, which is just so, so handy. And you can just click on them, save them to your phone, look through them, just say which ones you like. Obviously, you could share on you could go ahead and share them or email them to people. So super handy, so nice and convenient and good looking, high quality images, which is just fantastic. And I think they are going to be uploading more stuff as time goes on with that. So I'm really, really excited about that. Okay, back to this. The other thing that I really want to show you as you're getting going is how to go shopping. So for instance, if you're like, you know what, I would love to try the X Factor. Maybe you didn't order that in your welcome kit. So you could go to shopping and go to your shopping cart. Okay, so this basically brings up all of our products. So you can kind of scroll down that way. You can go up here, all the different combinations, newer products. Normally, trial packs are good to know. Sometimes I'll order some trial packs that I always have on hand for people. But yeah, so you can just go in here and just treat it like a normal, like you would on Amazon or whatever. Say, okay, I want to order some X Factor. Well, then it's going to go in and you can add it to your cart and then check out just like any normal website. So, and you automatically get your ambassador discount when you shop through your back office. So that's really handy too. Okay, and the last thing that I really want to show you is if you are getting to the point where you want to order business cards or brochures or things like that, this My Plexus print right here is fantastic. I ordered new business cards about 3 months ago through this website, and it has been great. Really sharp looking, I got them very quickly. So you've got business cards, sample cards, brochures, all sorts of stuff. It's been a little slow to load actually right now. But as you can see, here's some business cards, obviously some product type things to be able to hand out with things. Our opportunity brochure that is fantastic. You're going to get one in your welcome kit. So just lots of great printed materials here. So like I said, you can go here. There's newsletters. Here, I'll just click on the business card so you can see, because I would strongly encourage you to go ahead and order some business cards. So they've got all these different options that you can customize and everything. So that is a great thing to know as well from your back office. That's how you get there, is just go to shopping and then My Plexus print. Okay, so again, I would encourage you to go through all the tabs and look under everything. If you want further in-depth training, this box right here, this next steps box, is really great. You can just, well, let me go back to Brian's if it'll let me. So here's Brian's. You click on this and it will take you to the overview webinar. And it's going to be further in-depth looks at the back office. And so it'll kind of check things off as you watch them. So if you want further instructions and just more in-depth things, that will be your place that you want to go. So, and I would encourage you just to kind of go ahead and click through all those and everything. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or thoughts, let us know. And we are excited to for you to be able to really get started and really be able to use your back office to really help further your business.